Let's talk about the big news of the week, because I think that was even bigger than AEW Dynamite this week. I do agree with Josh and Krssi. It was a good show of Dynamite this week, but that's not what everybody was talking about. Because on Monday, PW Torch's Wade Keller reported that Dr. Britt Baker DMD may be on her way out of All Elite Wrestling, as Tony Khan and the locker room are said to be frustrated with her. This has led to Khan not booking her on television. Her last match was in November, in which she defeated Penelope Ford. The rumor is that Baker has become difficult to work with in recent months, and another quote unquote a minor incident became quote unquote the straw that broke the camel's back for removing her from television. According to the report, Khan has her in a group of wrestlers who don't get phone calls or aren't called in to show up. Presumably, that would be wrestlers like Miro or Ricky Starks, who haven't been on television in months, but the report doesn't mention who else is in that category. Britt Baker is said to be quote unquote wildly unpopular in the women's locker room. One source noted that no one in that locker room wants her to come back. It was reported back in August that Baker was suspended after an incident with MJF. However, MJF himself pushed back against those reports, calling them overblown. That alleged incident, along with other issues that have come up, are the reason for her absence. It was noted that she had a reputation for being hard to work with anyway, and that has only increased recently. There was said to be one incident in particular in which people just threw their hands up, and there is said to be a feeling that their company has a strong women's division and they no longer need to deal with her. The end of her relationship with Adam Cole is not the reason for what's going on, and there is likely no heat on Cole as he has nothing to do with her not being on television. Tony Khan is just quote unquote fed up with Baker and wants to focus TV time on other people. It's unknown what this means for her contract or pay, but she is not expected to be back in AEW anytime soon. Then we got a new report from the Wrestling Observer that claims of Britt Baker being potentially on her way out of AEW is quote unquote overblown. F4W Online notes that according to Brian Alvarez, the reports that Baker may be done with the company are not accurate. Alvarez reports that according to multiple people within AEW, the stories are blown out of proportion, and that while she is not used and there are not imminent plans for her to be used, there is nothing to the notion that she is finished there. Brian Alvarez reported more details on Britt Baker's during Tuesday's Wrestling Observer Radio. Meltzer noted that when reaching out to individuals regarding Baker's status, it was quote, it was not a subject that a lot of people wanted to talk about. He added that the story on Baker has a kernel of truth to some of it, but it was blown out of proportion, way out of proportion. As noted, following the initial report, Alvarez later reported that multiple people within AEW said it was being blown out of proportion. Alvarez added on Wrestling Observer Radio on Tuesday, there are people in AEW that don't like Britt. The idea that nobody in the locker room likes Britt is absolutely not true. With regards to why Baker isn't being used on TV right now, Alvarez stated, most people don't know why. Ultimately, it's Tony's decision whether she's going to be used or not. Additionally, Alvarez said that of the individuals in AEW he spoke to, including ones who speak with Tony Khan, nobody said she's not coming back. Also, Alvarez stated that Britt Baker is still under contract with AEW for quote unquote for quite some time. During a recent talk with DDP on his YouTube channel, Gauntlet, the former AEW Women's World Champion stated that she's been off AEW TV due to some outside projects. She says, I'm filming some stuff. Can't wait to tell everybody what it is. It's on the down low for now, but it's really exciting and it's cool. It's really cool. I think people will be really excited about it. Baker has not appeared on AEW programming since November 13th, 2024 edition of AEW Dynamite, when she was confronted by Serena Deeb after beating Penelope Ford in a singles bout. During the segment, Dr. Baker was heard saying at Deeb, "Nobody cares, nobody cares, nobody cares." Deeb later appeared on AEW Collision in December wearing a shirt that says "Nobody cares," referencing Baker's comments. However, Deeb has also been off of TV since that appearance, and the Wrestling Observer newsletter has reported that Britt Baker has a few more years left on our deal. And then Sean Ross Sapp confirmed that news in a quote tweet where he says that she has at least a year and a half left on her deal without injury time, which she was out due to injury. So it may be probably closer to 2 years that she has left on her deal with All Elite Wrestling. Krssi Love, what do you think about all this news, all this drama surrounding Dr. Britt Baker DMD? This is something that we've kind of talked about on this channel, on this flagship podcast for years now. I remember, what was it? What was it, like 2023? I had the whole rant about Britt Baker and just
getting
her
over her being what she was
just the
upset
way
with about the
she
Thunder Rosa
treated
thing. Yep,
the
and
way
yep.
she treated people, being upset with the whole Thunder Rosa situation and how that was handled, and her basically kind of mean girl act that she was doing backstage that was exposed by the AEW All Access documentary series. And now you got all of this stuff with Wade Keller saying that's the reason why she's off television. I mean, like, some of these reports, we always say take it with a grain of salt. But when I heard the Wade Keller report, none of it really surprised me. I was like, yeah,
they've been saying this for a long time now, and it was shown on the show. So it's like, oh, not everyone's gonna keep telling the same lies, friends. It's only unfortunate, but you have to change your actions. Like, you did this, not you take a responsibility for your actions. Try to fix it. And now you're being punished, and now you can't go on TV, which is fine.
Well deserved.
It's sad.
Well deserved.
It's really sad because it's a talent that could be used in other different ways, but it's just like, what are you gonna do?
I think that probably, I don't know if she can get back the momentum that she had in AEW at this point. It's just too many of these issues that are now coming up in the news. First, it was the whole MJF backstage incident. Now it's this. Then it's her absence, the weird way she was booked since returning in 2024. It's all of that combining to each other, where it may be at the point that whether they like it or not, whether she has 2 years left on her deal or not, Britt Baker may be finished in AEW. Like, the only way she can regain the momentum that she has in her wrestling career is by going to WWE at this point, in my opinion.
So you don't think that she can do like turn over a new leaf and probably get help and like kind of turn that into a story and like make it more positive and see if like she can be something better for TV? No?
I just feel like the culture in AEW is not going to be conducive for her to do that. I think that she needs
the girls don't even want her there.
I think that she's already gained a reputation to a lot of girls. Even the girls that were on her side, were friends with her, are no longer friends with her. The whole Jamie Hayter thing of it all. Like, that type of thing, when you get that type of reputation, when people don't want you around, that's really hard to overcome. And you have to be like a otherworldly star and be a top star in the company for you to even continue to have a position when the whole thing of, oh, nobody in the locker room likes you, or a lot of people don't like her in the locker room. It takes a lot of star power and being at the top of your game, which we really have not seen the top of the game for Britt Baker since her return.
A while. Yeah.
So all of that leads me to say, like, I think that she needs the Triple H press the button, like Jimmy Macaram said it. Like, all of this Tony Khan keeping people on the sideline and icing people, keeping Ray Phoenix under contract, adding injury time to his contract. We're going to talk about in a bit here, with them denying Ricky Stark's release or sitting Britt Baker on the sideline because she's a problem in the locker room.
Yeah.
None of that is helpful to AEW. Like you're better off just releasing these people That's the best thing you could do, because it does not matter how long you ice them, how long you keep them on the sideline, how long you keep them off TV. All
Mm-hmm.
Triple H got to do is press the goddamn button, and he's
Yep.
proven that with Penta.
Well, yeah, that's true. That's true. You're right. But I feel like Penta was a different kind of case because they were liked by the people that they worked with. They were liked by the crowd. They you think the people will be
But
very
Tony Khan
receptive.
iced him. Tony Khan iced him.
Right, but he iced them, but Britt Baker is not really a nice person. And so it was like,
I'm not comparing them and how the locker room views them. I'm
oh, okay.
comparing Tony Khan icing these people or
Oh, like
sitting
just put them on the sideline.
on the
Okay.
sideline. Like
Got it. Okay.
none of this is helpful to AEW. Like,
Got it.
regardless if that's the way he wants to say, like, okay, Britt, so I've had enough of Britt. I'm just gonna ice her and not call her, keep her on the do not call list. I don't know if this is how this is just causing more drama and more stuff to come up in AEW more than anything. It's hurting the stuff in the decision making of Tony Khan is hurting AEW more than it's helping it.
Got it.
Josh, what do you think about the entire Britt Baker situation, and what do you think the resolution to this all will be?
I have no idea. I don't know what's going to be the resolution. I mean, when I first heard it, I did question it, because all this came from somebody from what Wrestle Torch. They were having like right, so like they were having some kind of conversation that got brought up. So I guess the way it got brought up, I think that's why I kind of questioned it. We all know Britt has been having problems, right? Nobody's perfect. We've all know, and I think usually, and like I said before, I was like, usually when there's a lot of smoke, there's fire, and when we got that from Britt, the show itself, the Access, what was this show like the right? Was it Access?
All Access.
Yeah, like that show didn't do her any favors. It kind of proved a lot of things. Some of the rumors that we heard about her and Thunder Rosa, kind of confirmed that. You know what I mean? Like it kind of confirmed like her like mean girl kind of attitude. But as far as how TK feels and TK doesn't want to use her and all this stuff, I questioned it just because like I knew she had like a long length left on her deal, and to sit somebody out that long to just do nothing, I don't know. That's usually in that situation we really don't know their relationship. Like if I was to know like their relationship between them, then I could give a better answer to that, because we don't know. We don't know how TK feels at the moment. He could be frustrated with her, but to say that he's completely done with her, not going to use her again, we don't know that. So that's kind of, that's a weird thing when I heard that. But then little by little, it kind of confirmed like, hey, it's blown out of proportion. It's not what it is. Some of it is true, but then, and I kind of felt that was a little bit more true than anything, because there were somebody from Fightful did say like that part is not true, and they basically stand on it. Like they weren't arguing with people, but they were like that part is actually not true, and they're like that she actually is trying to work her way back onto TV. She was doing something else, and she's actually been working to try to get back on TV. So, I mean, it became a mess. I don't know why, when it comes to wrestling media, some people hear certain things and it kind of gets very muddied. So that's why this whole thing was complicated when I heard it, because I was just like, we don't know what to believe. At the same time, there's people who I could see believing it, because we have seen AEW, I mean, mostly TK, not use talent. If he's basically done with you, he's not going to use you. Like you brought up the Lucha Bros. Basically the report of the Lucha Bros was when they found out, not so much that, hey, they're in negotiations with WWE. It was the fact that they weren't going to resign, that he didn't use them again. The whole situation with Ricky Starks, there's certain things that I know, but I'm not going to I'm not gonna air out any dirty laundry like certain people did this past week. We don't know the details of that. We were probably never gonna know the full truth of Ricky Starks and AEW, what's going on with that. But at the moment, he's not being used, and he's probably not going to be used again. From everything that I've been hearing, it's unfortunate. And as a business thing, obviously in the wrestling business, when somebody's leaving or somebody's not going to resign, their whole aspect is to job them out, right? Use them on TV, have them put over talent and stuff like that, right? WWE did that. WWE maximized a lot of talent like that, where, all right, this person is leaving. All right, let's just use them and have them lose a shitload of matches, right? Mm-hmm. With TK, he just doesn't use them. And that's his business motto. I would love to know.
And I'm just gonna say it straight up and down. That's not the right business model.
No, it's not.
It's not. It's just not. No, it's not. There's no way. There's no way anyone could convince me.
Like that's his business motto, which I'm not defending that at all. It's just one of those things where I would love to see in the next press conference to ask him about that, because that's kind of a little weird to me. It's just like, all right, this person's not going to stay, you're not going to re-sign them. How come you're just not jobbing them out? Like, was there a reason? Like, is there a method that the reason why you're not doing that? And if he gives his reason, he gives his reason. At least we would know for sure. Like, all right, that's what he wants to do. Doesn't mean we have to agree with it, but I'm like, if that's his business, that's what he's gonna do. That's one of the things I would love to know. Again, I would love to know, why is that the reason? Like, why don't you just use these guys and job them out? Like, what's,
Yeah.
I would love to know that.
These guys want to wrestle. Just because they're leaving your company doesn't mean you need to be isolated.
And it could be
one thing I did want to push back against you with, when you said, oh, she has too much time left on her deal, Tony wouldn't keep her iced like that. He's kept Miro iced for a year now. It's literally the amount of time that Britt Baker has on her contract.
I mean, I get
the amount of time he's iced Miro.
But the reason why
do that, he will do that. I don't know why. It's weird,
then also,
and it doesn't make any sense.
No, but then also it's I mean, when it comes to Britt and Miro, who was the bigger star compared to them?
Miro
and the company itself. So that's why I question that in that aspect. Because Miro, we know the shit that's going on with Miro. Miro was given creative ideas, and he turned all of them basically down. So they're like, all right, we're just not going to use you. With the Britt Baker situation, obviously it's a different situation, but her status within AEW was far bigger than Miro probably would have ever gotten. So that's why I question it.
I don't know. I feel like Miro was a bigger star because he was getting paid more. That's why I say. No, I know what you were saying. I know what you're trying to say.
I mean, as in like the way that she's being used.
I would say that Miro was the bigger star because he was getting paid more, and he was used in a prominent position for like that 5-month period.
But in certain cases, somebody could get paid more. It doesn't mean they're necessarily the bigger star too.
Right.
Like we've seen that in sports too. There's guys who get paid more. They get paid more. It doesn't mean they're necessarily a bigger star.
I understand the constraints that you're trying to put this in, but I would definitely say that Miro as Rusev in the 2010s is a bigger star than Britt Baker ever was. So that's why he got the contract. That's what I'm saying. There's an argument for both. It's not cut down the middle. Britt was a bigger star than Miro. No, it's not that simple. It's not that simple.
It's not that simple. It's just like the way
you could tell me, oh, Britt was a bigger star from 2021 to late 2022 because that 1 year period. Sure, she was a bigger star in that 1 year period. But I would say overall in their career, who got to the biggest peak possible between the two of them? It's Miro. That's why he's paid more.
Yeah, which I get. And the reason why I was saying that, like I said before, I was like, it's because the way they've been used within the company, right? And that's why I was giving a little bit more pushback on like the whole pay thing, because I was just like, somebody could get paid more. It doesn't necessarily mean they're a bigger star, because that's just within their negotiation.
Most of the time in AEW, it's usually your star power is what gets you paid.
But then also in general, women in wrestling, they generally do get paid a lot less than the men.
Oh yeah,
That's
no, that's
just
true.
right. That's just a fact right there.
But
I
what
think
I'm
that's what.
saying is that Britt didn't sign just one contract.
Yeah,
She signed
she
a
signed
contract in
multiple. Yeah,
2019.
she
She
signed
signed
multiple, and
another
she got
one
the
in
extension.
2022, and that was for more money. Neither one of
Yeah,
those
yeah.
contracts were bigger than Miro. At the peak
Yeah.
of her powers as a star, she signed a contract that still was not bigger than what Miro got. So that's why I said Miro is a bigger star.
Yeah,
We
which I
got
understand.
we giving her too much time. This is too much. We giving her too much time. I'm sorry.
But what do you
I
think?
mean,
What do you
we're
think
giving
is
her
the
too much
verdict,
time. At the same
Krssi
time,
Love?
I mean, that was the biggest. That was one of the biggest topics of the week, and it
Yeah.
became like a big mess. It became a big mess because, again, people.
No. We don't go that
Yeah.
way. I know where you're going. Don't go that way. Go to the
No,
left.
no, no,
Make
no,
a
no, no.
left.
I mean,
Make a
as
left.
in,
Don't make a right. Make a
no,
left.
no, no. I mean, as in, like, no, I mean, no. I mean, as in, like, overall, like, again, like, this became a big topic because we had that first report. Then everybody else is like, no, that's not what it is. So people are gonna believe what they want to believe. That's all I was actually trying to say.
Yeah.
Like when it
I
comes
mean,
to
this is still going to be a topic, Krssi. Like this is still going to be a topic until she's either back on television or they come to some type of solution with her in AEW.
No, I know it's a
what do
topic.
you
I
think?
just feel like we
What
have
do you think
other
is going to
things that
be
we need to
the?
talk about. This we've talked too much about. That's all I'm saying.
We've only talked for like 20 minutes. What do you think is going to be the final resolution?
She's gonna get released and probably go. Hunter's gonna probably ask for her, and buy probably hopefully either one. I don't know if Tony will release her right away, but she'll be released, and she's gonna go over to WWE.
I don't think she's gonna get
So she's
released
gonna do
either.
over there. I don't know. Do they send her now? Do we send her to NXT? Probably not.
I don't see her getting a release. Tony seems allergic to releases.
You know what?
And I mean, it's
he
true.
does.
And
He does.
I mean, it's
he very
true.
much
And
does.
yeah, and he's only like really fired a handful of people. Like he's fired CM Punk. He's fired that bitch Kevin Kelly. He doesn't really
BJ
fire
Whitmer.
people. Yeah,
BJ
but that was
Whitmer.
deserving. Like that one was like absolutely deserving.
Yeah, it's very rare.
Yeah.
It's very rare that he does that.
But he doesn't. He doesn't fire people. He lets them. Hey, you can still get paid, and we'll just run you out. I mean, that's the only upside for the talent. They still get paid, but a lot of them just want to work. A lot of them just want to be in the ring. They want to get reps. They want to work.
We got a couple of new members or old members becoming new members once again. Power Driver Finisher re-upping his membership. Thank you so much, Power Driver Finisher, for that. We also got Chilling with Chase, who re-upped his membership. Give it up for Chase and Power Driver Finisher. Thank you on board. Go over and check out the IWC cooked video that me and Josh did for our members from yesterday. And then we got a super chat donation here from Chuck Berries. Thank you so much, Chuck Berries. He says, seems as though it's been a bad week of mismanagement for both Tony and Papa Khan. Devo, better talk to your boys, LOL. I mean, Papa Khan is just awful at his job. And
the football?
That's what's making me scared is because Tony is showing signs of running AEW a similar way that his father runs the Jacksonville Jaguars. And that's not the wrestling company that I want to be rooting for. I don't root for your football team. I don't want to root for this wrestling team if you're going to be running it the same way that you're running the football club. Teach yourself. We got another super chat donation here from Negro Buck, Nick Jackson. Thank you so much, Nicky Boy, who says, little super chat in honor of my mama's birthday. Happy birthday, Mama Buck.
Mama Bucks, yay.
Mama Jackson, we love you. Happy birthday. We hope you enjoy your day. We hope you enjoy your weekend. We hope your baby boy is spoiling you and you have a great weekend. So happy birthday to you.
So I just want to ask Nick, since Nick is like 15 years old, your mom is like 35, right?
Seems about right. That math seems to math a bit. We got also in the chat, we got Davion who says TK acting like Andy from Toy Story. Yeah, he gets a new Buzz Lightyear and he just drops Woody on the floor and goes to the new one. We also got Venom Hernandez who says Tony Khan has a bunch of action figures let some go. I understand all of that. I understand, not wanting to just lay down and give up for WWE after your talent and whatnot, and I can get that perspective. But when you just want to go and you're not using them, there's no reason to hold on to them. Like if
Yeah.
you were actually going to use these people, even if it is to just use them, job them out. Literally, how you use Penta for his last year in the company, where you just used him to job out to the stars of the company in random singles matches every couple of weeks. That's how you use Penta for most of his final year in the company. You can at least do that with some of these guys.
Yeah.
Yeah. Some of them I can. I think with Phoenix, I love Phoenix, but I'm like, I don't feel as bad for him, and I'm still gonna stand on that. I mean, he's gonna go to WWE in a couple of months, right? He's gonna go to WWE. They're gonna make some mask. I'll probably buy one myself because I bought the Penta one. So I mean, he just gotta be patient. I mean, he just gotta wait it out. But then also, just some of his antics, they're not doing him any favors. So he needs to like really cut it out, because it's like, bro, if you probably stay shut, he'll probably let you out sooner. But if you just keep doing the shit you're doing, you're giving him a reason to hold on to you. So that's my advice to Phoenix. Cut it the fuck out.
We'll bring that up shortly here. Josh, you're just skipping ahead to like all different types of topics.
I'm sorry. I just wanted to mention that. I just want to mention that. Because we're talking about him keeping talent.
Mm-hmm. But I think that Britt just has to really kind of reshape her image and her reputation in the AEW locker room, because that's not the only thing that's been being talked about Britt Baker this week. As previously reported, Britt Baker and Adam Cole are no longer a couple, although at the time of the announcement confirmed that they are still friends. Baker has been absent from AEW and is now combating new rumors that suggested she cheated on Adam Cole. We got in the latest Keeping It 100, Conan said, I was the first one that said her and Cole had broken up. They AEW fans were on me again. Now you see it's true. And I'm going to throw this little one in there. Very credible source. It happened because she was cheating on him. Okay. Literally, very credible source is literally how we heard it from somebody that's on our team. I'll just put that out there. Conan also claimed that Baker had a lot of heat on her in AEW, and most of the women's roster refused to work with her. In a post on Twitter, Baker responded to the allegations, and she wrote, I understand we as performers are expected to have thick skin through opinions and lies we read about ourselves, but spreading lies about my personal life is just low, weird, and something I won't tolerate. I've never cheated on anyone in my life. # tell your source.
Yeah.
So yeah, she's had to deal with that. And honestly, this is not the first time we've heard that rumor. Literally, I don't do the whole talking about what I hear on AEW or in the locker room, AEW, WWE, TNA on this platform, but I do tell my colleagues here, my co-hosts here, and this was back in like 2023. I heard that rumor that Britt cheated on Cole, and you know that we went like eight months of that being like speculation before they finally announced that they had broken up. So like I hate the fact that people's love life and their relationship life is being dragged into the news.
Yeah.
And myself, I knew about it. I heard about it. Now it's a matter of if it's true or not, right? Somebody could tell you something, it could be totally made up, and then but obviously didn't do them mostly her didn't do her any favors once the breakup announcement was like made, because then you're assuming things, you're jumping to conclusions. It's all unfortunate. I mean, it sucks because again, at the end of the day, none of this is really our fucking business. Like it's not our business. And and that's why it's unfortunate. Like Sammy got heat for a while because he was engaged, and then they broke up, and then people were just like, oh, just because he's with Ty Conti, and then it ended up being what it ended up being. We don't know the details of that, but it just looks bad. And at the end of the day, again, it's that shouldn't have been brought out like the way it did, because it's none of our business. And people are going to pry in, people are going to do things. That's why Conan is no better himself doing that, because it's like, bro, like, you're just, again, Conan has his thing against AEW, so he's going to do whatever he's going to do to like jump on that ship. It's just, again, like, and I know both of them. Like, I've met Britt was super nice when I met her, nothing but nice. Every time I've met her, she's been super sweet, super nice. And then Adam Cole, cool as fuck. Like, I feel like he's like one of us, like when I talk to him. It should be kept private. I mean, it's unfortunate, and it's unfortunate she had to do it the way that she did. And that led to other layers of things, and then now she's forced to defend herself. And regardless of how you feel about her, regardless of how anybody feels about her, of like a reputation, shit like that shouldn't have never gone out.
Nah, definitely shouldn't have. We got Cyclops better than Wolverine, though, so proposing in the ring wasn't a great idea. It opened him up to scrutiny, sad to say. I mean, that is a great point. No one would have even talked about Sammy and that whole thing if he didn't decide that he needed to propose on national TV. So,
that's his fault. That's on him.
Yeah, on an episode of Dynamite. This was back in 2021.
Yeah, he proposed to his ex. He proposed in it, and then like a few,
months later, he's with Ty Mello. So it's just like,
you
created that mess all yourself. I can't.
That was dumb.
This one with Cole and Britt.
I never had respect ever since.
These two did not. All they did was let people know that they had a relationship. We should not be prying into it this way. Whereas Sammy, you put yourself into the criticism. You threw yourself into that fire. So I'm not. I don't have any sympathy.
I don't either. And then I think he even like made the breakup public, which I was just like, bro, like, I'm like, you probably shouldn't be fucking doing this right now. And then
Britt and Cole did not do anything to deserve any type of people trying to dragging their names in the mud or talking about their personal business or talking about the reason why they broke up, period.